Hi. You are right. It has been a week. It
Hopefully
has
good on
definitely
your
been.
side.
Well, um, I would say years ago, I would say it sucked ass. Now, the way that I look at it is, well, there's a meaning behind this, and somehow it's all in my favor. And I wonder about my own discomfort.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So, you know, okay, so I'm gonna back up. I'm in this transition, this transformation, right? So
Hmm.
the hives come and the hives go, and the hives come and the hives go, and I'm like, okay, and I know I'm almost done with it. So all that's great, and the new Marnie, and I'm picking stuff up like faster even than ever before, which is great in some ways. Then we had the whole tire thing last week.
Yes.
A lot of gratitude there. Like it's
If I
real
go in and
scary.
out, I have to respond to the core. So if I go in and out, love you
Okay.
guys. Just apologize. Okay.
Okay, so tire thing went out, and then I was very grateful all of that happened the way that it happened, and I'm alive. So that was great. And then there was a thing with the new friend that I went through Friday night, and that also went through really fast and was able to see really clearly and pick up this was not an alignment, and totally okay with it. Like that was great. So Monday rolls around, and I'm walking into my office with a cup of water to drink, and I don't know, lost my footing, something, and water is now all over my computer and all over my desk. Yeah. Look at your face. Yeah, all over my desk, papers, like all kinds of things. And I was like, like you don't know what to touch first, and you're going, oh. So I got most of it dried up, whatever. I was able to get through to Eli at school, and he said, tent it so that all the water will come out. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm doing great here. And he's like, no, we need to get you an appointment for Apple. And I was like, what? He goes, "Oh, yeah." He said, "They're gonna have to replace your computer." I was like, "Okay." So there was a moment where my old nervous system kicked in, and I was almost on the verge of having a panic attack, which happens a lot, right? To everybody, like everybody has
Everybody.
that where you just start to swirl with, the outlet, the things like it's my business is on there, my personal stuff is on
Right.
there, and you can't think. And so he and I were on FaceTime, and I was saying to myself, okay, I'm safe. I'm safe. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. And he goes, Mom, you're not breathing. I
That's
was like,
funny.
boom. So I did that. And he didn't have any in-person classes. So I picked him up, and we had an
Oh,
adventure, and we drove to Knoxville 2 hours because that's the
that's
closest
okay.
store.
That's okay.
And
That's lovely.
got there, and very interesting. I had two people we experienced there. One was super empathetic, compassionate, gave us all the information. He didn't like give me anything for free or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just kindness. And the
That's
other
just the world's
one,
missing a lot of.
yeah, yeah. Well, the other one was like, I even Eli said, "Oh my gosh, this dude just wanted to argue and be right about everything, and I just wanted to order a computer." So yeah, so my fixed computer should be here today. Thankfully, I don't let Eli take his good computer to school, so I've been using his computer, and I had to order a new computer, which will be here next week. My backup I had only done through the end of June, so I lost July and August.
Okay.
in the beginning of
That's okay.
September. But that's, that's, I could have been worse, right?
Could have been
And a
worse.
lot of what I do is on different apps. So like all my Canvas stuff is still there, and all my stuff with clients is still in my Honeybook. And so it's, and I bring all this up because I know like I know you go through stuff and other people go through stuff, and I'm like, oh, and I'm going, there were moments I could have gone sideways. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
for sure. And it's just in the like, okay, somehow this is all in my benefit. I don't know how right now in this moment, but I may not figure it out for a long time,
And that's
you
okay
know.
too.
And what I do know is that computer, I loved that computer. It was pretty. It was rose gold. Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
know. It was pretty. But I got it the month before we moved up here. So it's part of the old me. It's part of the divorce. It's part of the breakup with that other guy. It's part of a lot of stress and turmoil, and even
Correct.
something that I realized, which was I had taken on my ex-husband's money story, which I never believed. And I was actually the one that helped him change his money story. And when I realized that, I was like, how is that going on here? So
That's
all of
right.
that is part of that. And so a new computer is part of the new Marnie. And
That's right.
yeah, was this the moment that I really wanted? No. Am I grateful that, was it how I wanted to spend the money? No, it wasn't for sure. But was I grateful that I had it? Yes. And and that's the part where, when you shift into a place of abundance, and I know that word gets tossed around a lot. But and I don't mean abundance just financially. I mean abundance in health and happiness,
Mhm.
in love, and all the things. And when you start moving into that place more and more and more, and I'm just deepening that in myself, you definitely get opportunities
You
to
do.
to show you. But it just seems different. I mean, it's no different than, those pictures I texted you yesterday. So, and looking at that house,
Does that llama come with the house?
to the what?
Does the llama come with the house?
No, oh no, the alpacas. No, they're next door. They're next door. But
Oh,
I think
okay.
there would be an opportunity to talk to them about, hey,
No.
do you need some
I was
help
like,
there? Because that
I
would be
love that
super
alpaca. It
fun.
made me happy.
Right? It made me so happy. When I saw him, I was like, oh, that's the dude. That's I think the boy alpaca that came out. Um, but this house, there's no logical reason this house should make sense for me because it has zero in storage. I have no idea where I would put my stuff. I mean, I definitely would
I
have to
like
pare
it.
down on furniture, totally fine. But when I walked into the house, I walked in and I got this feeling of love. I've
Oh,
never walked
yeah.
into a house, and other than like that, my own house that I built prior to this, I've never walked in, and all the houses I've looked at, they've all been, oh, this sounds good. Like it mentally like checks the boxes or doesn't. This one I felt. And then we had some questions and we had time before the next house. And so my realtor called the other realtor. So we found out the story. The people that owned the alpaca farm owned this property, and they had like sectioned it off. But originally, the husband built this house as a guest house as a gift for his wife, and you can feel it. Like I mean, maybe not everybody can. I walked in and there's a
It was just love.
fireplace made totally of river rock. It was just like somebody real. There were details of things I could feel the love. And so when she was saying that to me, and she's like, everything that you're saying you felt like she was talking
Yeah.
about in there. And then she died, then he died, and there's a caretaker over the alpaca part. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Um, and they sectioned off
Bless
this,
you.
thank you, this one piece around the guest cottage. And somebody else is living there now, and she's selling it. And I got the sense, I was like, I only feels like one person's living here. And that was the sense I got. And so that got confirmed. But there were so many things that I had said that I want. I wanted a fire pit, that's there. I wanted a creek I could get in, that's there. I wanted an area for raised beds, that's there. I wanted a covered front porch, that's there. I wanted it to be a quiet area, that's there. All of the externals, and then the internal vibe felt so good. But I will tell you, it's tiny on the inside. It's definitely tiny. I mean, I think there must be ways, and I kept, after we left there, my mind kept going back to it, thinking about living there and what life would be like, and oh, I could make friends with the alpaca people and help them out, and I was like, I'm in a Hallmark movie, and I was
That's
just
what it
like,
looked like. It did look like a
yeah,
Hallmark
it,
movie.
and I said, "There's no sense here of why it should work." It's even price wise, it's at the top of. I don't even know if I could make the money work, but yet it's still on my list, and I can't tell you why. Like, it doesn't make sense, but I'm I don't know. We're just going with it, and I
Understood.
think that's where I think that's where so many people, like, we get so in our heads about what things should look like, and how it has to have the storage, and it has to have the whatever, or the money's wrong, versus feeling into it and seeing what happens. Like, I'm gonna let
That's
it
right.
roll and
That's
see.
right. That's
So
right.
I've just been
You're fine. You're fine.
how are you
You're
doing?
fine. I'm doing. It's been a little bit of a week. My birthday's at the end of next week. So,
I
um,
know,
I know.
you got to be
So,
celebrating.
yeah, a little bit.
You're
But
alive.
just that's true. That's true. So it's just been, it's just a hectic week. It's going to be a hectic next week too. So just trying to pound. That's why I'm doing this from this lovely space as I walked out of one
This
room to
lovely
go to another
space.
one in just a little bit. But
Oh,
it has, and
wait,
it's been
there we go.
huh? Can you hear me?
You got you, yeah, you froze for a second. Can you hear
So
me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah,
Can you hear
now I
me?
can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's,
Yeah.
it's, we're just banging through,
Make it through.
um,
Yeah.
banging through. So yeah, yeah.
It's I knew when I told you about this story, you'd be like, oh my God. Like, it makes sense what I was texting you earlier,
It definitely does. It definitely
right?
does.
Yeah.
It definitely
I'm
does.
like, okay. I'm like, all right. Somehow it's all gonna work out.
Yeah,
Somehow.
it will.
Somehow,
It
some
will.
way.
It will. I know
It's
it will.
all
It will. It
and
will.
it's well, it's also, there's this whole thing about positive and negative, and I really believe, and I know people probably think I'm crazy for believing this, and that's okay. Um, my grandma always said, out of shit you get flowers.
Mhm. I
And
believe
I've
that
always believed, sometimes it's really hard to figure it out though. Cause like sometimes the shit feels really, really bad.
because you feel like you're going
Of
to get stuck in
what
it,
is
but
the
you were
good
never
that's
meant to
supposed
be
to come
stuck.
from this?
That's right. You were never meant to be stuck. That's
Right.
the thing. You feel like
Right.
sometimes you get murked up
Right.
in it and you feel stuck, but you aren't supposed to be stuck. It's supposed to. So yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
But I
yes.
mean, even stuff that happens, yeah. You know, what is that?
Oh, this is like a scarab. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, that's so pretty.
It's got two crystals.
That's so pretty.
Isn't it
Yeah, I see
cool?
it.
It's a woman
Yeah.
named Amanda Britton for all the people who watch us. There are some wonderful artists out there. And she is one of them. And she has a story. And then I have this piece on by Maggie. And she's Sticks and Stones.
Maggie.
Sticks
Sticks
and
and
Stones.
stones. Oh, I like that. Oh,
Yes.
I like that.
So they're both
I like that. I like
Instagram,
that.
people. So
Mm.
put them out there. Yeah, it's been a long week. I'm kind of probably talking slowly, moving a little bit slower. And of course, from last week, there's just been so much going on in the country, and turmoil, and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, one day when we have a little bit more time, I
Yeah.
want for us to talk to America because I feel like people out there need to know we overuse the word but. We overuse the word but. And what I mean by that is if something terrible happens, say
Mhm.
someone dies, it is
Mhm.
okay to say, I am sorry they're dead, period. We do not need to say, I'm sorry they're dead, comma, but they were a
Period.
terrible
Yeah.
human. But this, I feel like I feel like somehow we have made that seem okay. And you know what, Mara, it's just not. It's just not. That is not
I I
if you
agree
want
with
to
you.
if you want to, and I really want to talk about that because I have been very sad and disappointed in some of the things I have witnessed. And I'm not even talking about my personal views on a person.
Right.
But you
No,
know what?
I
When
don't think
some
you are. I don't think you're talking about
No,
views. You're
and I'm saying I
talking about in
wouldn't because
general.
yeah, I'm saying when something terrible happens and you're saying you're sorry that happened, you say, I am sorry this happened, period. It does not need to have a comma, but because anything that happens after the but cancels everything else you said before it. And I just don't think people
I
realize
agree
that.
with you.
I know. I mean,
I
I
don't
know
think
we
people
do. That's
realize
why
it,
we're
and
so close.
it's in any kind of apology.
It's
If
any
you're
kind of apology.
apologizing, then you
Apologize.
just apologize.
Period.
There's no yeah,
I am
period.
sorry,
That's
comma, but you were a jerk. No, 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 no. I am sorry.
no.
Period. Periods are underused.
I'm
Periods
sorry,
are
but I was under
underused.
a lot of stress. I am sorry,
No,
like I like no, that's not If you're sorry, then just be sorry.
just be
If you're
sorry.
apologizing, just be sorry. It's
Just be
okay.
sorry.
There's no
Periods are
explanation
underused.
needed.
Periods are underused.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Sorry,
Period.
my mind went somewhere else when you said
Oh, I know.
that.
No, mine finally looks like it's going away. So, yay.
Yay! Yay!
Without
Or
any breakthrough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. It's something we talk about love languages a lot. What people have as love languages. There is something the same gentleman who wrote the five love languages. He wrote about apology languages,
Good.
and people need to hear it a certain way, but but all of it includes just saying you're sorry.
Just say you're sorry. Just say you're
Just
sorry.
say, just say, just know, show remorse, demonstrate
Exactly.
remorse. Period.
That's right. That's right.
That's
That is right.
there's nothing after that. And so when somebody has some of it is people have this wanting to explain, like not that they're not being accountable, but there's this um what's
They
the
want to
word for it?
explain why they were
They
such a jerk.
they want to
Or,
explain well because they're uncomfortable.
yeah,
They're uncomfortable, they feel bad, and they want to, like here's what was going on, da da da. Da. And what is not realized is that the person you hurt it doesn't matter what all was going on, you know?
it doesn't.
What matters to them is that you hurt whether you meant to or you didn't mean to, there was an impact. And the impact was it hurt them in some
That's
way,
correct.
shape, or form. So just own it.
That's right.
Apologize and own it. There's no this is something that I have spent a lot of time talking to my kid about. With it doesn't matter to me that you were tired.
It
You
doesn't.
know, like if you're tired, we're all tired and we're all
We're all
human and we
tired.
all make mistakes and we
That's
all
right.
say it wrong sometimes. And so it's just acknowledging, you know what? I fucked up. I'm sorry.
I'm real sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I was a jerk. I was an ass. I didn't, right,
Yeah,
right.
that's it.
And people feel like
That's
they
it.
cannot say that anymore. Accountability is lacking.
Accountability is lacking. Yes. Accountability
I
definitely is
remember
lacking.
it used to frustrate me when we were young because we would fuss at my mama. And like if she said something and she would, we're like, that's wrong. That's not what happened. That's wrong. And I remember my dad would walk in and we're like, but dad, look, this is not what happened. She's yelling about this. He goes, okay, I get it. I said, then you need to tell her she's wrong. He goes, nope, she's your mother and you are responsible for you. He goes, you're not
Uh-huh.
responsible for what your mama does, but you can't go in there acting like a screaming and yelling. You're responsible for you.
Yeah.
You are accountable for you. And it
Yep.
used to aggravate me because I wanted to explain this. Stop. You're accountable for your actions. So you're not going to go in there and do that. Stop.
Well, but that goes to, yeah, that totally goes to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
When we're feeling out of control, there are things, we talk about this in my recovery meetings. They call it the hula hoop. So if you had a hula hoop around you, anything in the hula hoop is in your control. Anything out of
And
your hula hoop is not in your control.
you
And there's
know
so there's
that you fuss at me all the time because I'm one of those
yeah,
people who apologizes for everything, whether I had
yeah,
any control of it or not. And you're always like, no, stop, not in your, because you say that to me, not in your hula hoop.
yeah,
Stop,
not in
not in
your
your hula
control.
hoop.
Not in your control.
And but I
Yeah.
still feel that, but I'm always apologizing for stuff. I mean, like, I'm so sorry, this happened. They're like, got nothing to do with you. I mean, that's what I've always done. And I think the
Yeah.
world could take a little bit of that notes. You know what? You can at least be sorry for the stuff you did.
Or just to have compassion. It's compassion
Compassion,
and
compassion.
kindness.
That's right.
Compassion and kindness. And we feel it, you feel it in the workplace
You're right.
when, there we feel it when there's lack of more often
Mm-hmm.
than when you have it. I think people
You're
don't
right.
always recognize it when they have it, but they'll notice it when they don't. Oh gosh, can you believe we're not going to get such and such off, or we're not going to
Yes.
get this, or we're not going to get
Correct.
that, or just in the way things are handled and people speak to each other.
That's right.
And so much of it now is done electronically that I think that the loss of being able to converse, and just to
Human
have
interaction.
to being able
We have
to, wow,
taken the
that's a loud
humanity
noise.
out of interaction. We have taken the humanity out of interaction.
Yeah. And so it's harder for
Yeah.
people to read body language and hear tone and
Yep.
tonality. And, when you're just going by an email or a text,
Mm-mm.
things can be misconstrued so easily.
And you can
I
go
see it in
down
the
a
dating
rabbit hole
world.
that
I
has
see it. Yeah,
nothing to do with what was actually intended.
totally.
Said it all.
Totally. And then conflict arises. But,
Yep.
to get back to your point, I mean, there is a lot of judgment, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
that goes on that I'm seeing. And I'm not one of those people that I'm sure there's something I judge. I'm not saying that I don't judge anything, but I really try so hard to see things from another viewpoint. And I'm okay with agreeing to disagree. Like, we don't have to
Absolutely.
agree.
No.
I just want to be heard and feel like I'm being understood. Even if we decide to disagree, I can respect, like, live and let live. I can respect your opinion, that's your what you see and how you see the
Yes.
world. Cool. Cool beans. I'm not going to shove mine on yours, so don't shove yours on me.
That's right.
you know and instead, how about we figure out where we line up and we're the same.
People don't want to do that anymore. Yes, that's what we need to do. But it's almost like they just want. There is enough anxiety and controversy in this world right now, anyway, without us being terrible about
Yeah,
things that don't need to be. We don't need to be terrible about.
truth.
I
Truth,
don't
truth,
know,
truth.
Marty.
I
I
mean,
miss the
my
days.
vision for the world, I want that. You remember that Coke commercial in the 70s where all the different people,
Your
all the
coat.
cultures and
Yeah.
ethnicities, and they're standing on a mountaintop and they're holding hands and they're singing, I'd like to teach
To
the
buy the
world to
world a
sing
Coke and teach
in
them how to
perfect.
sing. I'd
Yeah,
like
that whole
to buy
thing.
the world a Coke and something. But yes, it was that
Well,
girl. I
the
can't
Coke
sing. You
part
know
I
that.
take out of it, but there's actually a song. The Coke used a
Yeah.
song. It's about
Oh
teaching
yeah.
the world to sing in harmony. And
Yes. I didn't
that's
know the
what
song,
I
y'all. I just knew
would
the Coke
like to see.
commercial.
Yeah. So the divisiveness is what I would
Mhm.
like to see go away.
So
Like
I told
let's
a
treat each
friend
other with
here.
love and respect.
I told a friend here lately. I said, I miss the days that you went and you voted for somebody. And when you left and you watched the television and your person did not win, you said, okay, we'll try again in 4 years. You weren't all upset about it. You didn't act like you were going to lose your mind. You just can't. You're like, okay.
Right.
I mean, you know what? Try again in 4 years. Try the divisiveness of the world has not of the
Yeah.
world. The divisiveness of this country has got to take a step back because I do not feel the majority of us are that far on polarized sides. I think some people are, but they're very
What
small percentages polarized like this. I think most of us are right
when
here.
I talk to people, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people that are right there. I mean, I know people look and they go, "Oh, pink hair, tattoos, piercings, whatever." And they right away put me in one category. But
Mhm.
when they talk to me and we actually start talking about stuff and they're like, "Oh, we're we're really
We're
close
not
on
that different.
a lot of stuff. We're not that different. It's just sometimes the approach is different.
Of course it
Sometimes
is.
how we want to go about it is different. And that's okay because that's how we figure out and we create new ways of doing things is because people are different. Like
Yeah,
that's the beauty of being different.
that's right.
But instead of embracing that, we condemn it.
That's right.
That's what I'm seeing is
I like
not from
differences.
and I don't see it from everybody.
Not from
It's
everybody.
just
It's just,
I think it gets blown up in the media a
it
lot too.
does. It does.
Because
It does.
when you talk, like I'm in a small community and I don't see that
Yeah,
as much.
that would make sense.
We're more about community here than anything else.
Well, that's good. We need a
And
little bit more of that.
yeah. And that's it's what I love about living here is that people are more about helping. They don't go, who'd you vote for? Then I'll help you. I mean, that would be like, oh my goodness. Oh my
Girl, what did you
goodness.
just do? What did you just do? What did you
You
just do?
know, I knew this was gonna happen. My
What did you
kid
just do?
my kid had broken this chair and I thought I had fixed it.
Did you just fall
Apparently
down
I
on
was
our
wrong.
video? Did you
Yeah, I
just fall
did.
down on our video? You just fell down on
Yep.
our video.
I fell down on the video.
You fell down on the video.
Yeah.
Well, that might
That is
be. I'm
so
probably gonna.
weird.
They gave me until 12 o'clock, so
Well,
that was probably a good place.
she's gonna leave me when I'm down.
Girl, I hope I'm watching you get up. You off the ground, right? You up, right?
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
well, it's good to
Mwah.
see you. Mwah.
I
I
love
love
you.
you.
Love you. Be out there. That
Bye.
was loud. Bye.
Okay, recording is